Well, uh, hey, Mom.
Hi.
Hey, family. Welcome to another episode of Bonding with Mater and Sater, the first Black mother and son podcast.
I am Brooklyn Potts Mater.
And I'm James Eaton, aka Sater. We have some things to get to, but first, I wanted to give y'all an update. Well, Mater is going to give you an update on the whole COVID thing. Are you all right? Did you get tested? Do you feel better? What's going on?
No, actually, I did not get tested. I actually started feeling better later on that night, and I haven't felt, sick, as of then. Um, I have just had some knee issues. I did go to the doctors, and um, why are you laughing?
This is
They
going.
took some, they took some fluid off my knee, which was, really, really interesting. Almost, I guess 20 ounces almost
Uh,
of fluid that was just sitting on my knee. So,
mm,
um, I don't feel the need to go and have, a test. But I think that just my knee was just hurting me so bad and I was overcompensating it, trying to walk, and that was just giving me like just muscle and joint pains.
mm.
So now I'm better. I'm taking a anti-inflammatory medication, and I feel I feel a lot better. Thank you for asking.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah,
You know why I was laughing, right?
yeah, I
Uh,
do.
you want me? I won't say it. I won't say it.
You can go ahead and say it because I sent a picture of the fluid that was on my knee. It was just amazing. I never had anything or seen anything like it. But they used like a first um they froze it, then they injected like a little numbing medication into it, which stung and kind of burned. And then they used this big giant syringe with a needle on the end, and he just sucked it out. And when it came out, it was the color of it. It looked like urine. It's the color of urine.
Yes, I was
So,
like, it's like, is that pee? I knew it wasn't pee. I'm not dumb, but I was like, is that pee? I was like, I said in the family group chat, I was like, you lucky I wasn't your doctor because I'm like, girl, you got pee in your knee.
yeah, the color of it did look a lot like urine. So
Oh man, pee in your knee, man. Where
yeah,
I could be a
it
comedian
was
in this life.
painful.
It was painful.
It was painful, and I felt instant relief when they were taking it out though. So
Mhm.
I'm on the mending fence. So, or
That's
I'm on the mend, I should
that's
say.
that's good to hear. I think not that you're old, but if you don't take care of yourself when you get to your age, the health problems can be life threatening. And there's no real clean way to segue into this, but we lost a legend yesterday, and he was not that old. He was 50 years old. So
Yeah.
DMX, he passed yesterday. He had a drug overdose last Friday and was on life support in a coma, low brain activity for about a week. So we were all just not, I don't want to say waiting, but like, standing by to see what's going to happen. Is he going to pull through? Is he going to, unfortunately pass? And he unfortunately passed. And it's one of the weird things, at least I take it like it's sad, but if you know DMX's story, you're kind of I think people that have such a troubled past, especially with drug addiction and just being a celebrity and all the stuff that comes with that, and their story and they've been through so much pain, they eventually when they pass away, you kind of feel like relieved for them. You know what I mean? And I
Right.
think and I think that with DMX, there was this rapper, I'm not gonna say his name, but there was this rapper that after he passed, he was like, oh, it's a shame that when people die, that's when they get their flowers. I want mines when I can see it, still smell them. And I'm like, what are you talking about? DMX is that is true for celebrities and some rappers that pass, and then everyone wants to act like they were their biggest fan or whatever. But DMX was always beloved. Everybody loves DMX, even if you're just a casual fan. You like DMX, and he was
Yeah.
one of those people that, he's not perfect. He's had a troubled past, but it's the him as a person, and his personality and his celebrity, you just like him. He's one of the celebrities and rappers that you just like Snoop
Mhm.
Dogg. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's of that ilk. So I'm not. What? How familiar are you? I mean, I know you're probably not the biggest fan, but like, how familiar are you with DMX, and
Um,
what's your
um,
thoughts on it?
yeah, I like DMX's music. I think I agree. I think he touched, his music was a broad spectrum. Even his old music was, old school. He's considered an old school rapper, so it's timeless. Like even you guys like his old stuff,
Mhm.
you know, um, stuff he made. He's not too far from. I'm what, like maybe 4 years older than he is.
Mhm.
So so his music came out, what, I think 20 years ago,
Um,
or so, 25,
22.
22 years ago. Yeah,
He,
so I
he,
was
he-
relatively young and listening to rap and listening to his music. And it's just his music was timeless.
mhm.
There's music that you can play, from his first album that will get anybody up, dancing and stuff. And yeah, he had some issues, like I'm assuming anybody that takes drugs, or not taking it because well, I guess first starting off, it does feel good to you, but then it becomes to a point to where you're taking it to numb, like a coping mechanism, that type of thing.
Right,
And years of that wear and tear on your body, like you said, if you don't take care of yourself, the end result will be death.
right.
And that is strenuous on your heart. So, you know, yeah, he will be missed. Um,
Mm.
they said he was working on some type of project too with
With Swiss Beats.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think that to piggyback off of what you were saying about the whole drug addiction thing, with DMX's story, he was introduced to crack when he was 14.
Oh wow.
14 years old, and he was introduced to it by someone that was 30.
Mm,
So imagine, I mean, well, Takia's 30. Imagine Takia introducing someone that's 14 to crack.
right, right.
And just, and I think I was watching MTV used to do a documentary series called Behind the Music, and that's why I
Mhm.
learned that fact from. And he was like, man, it created a monster. You know what I mean?
Wow.
To be hooked on something like that at such a young age. So um and I think the narrative with DMX as of recent, before this drug overdose, was actually that he was getting clean, and he was actually like finally come overcoming it, because for
Right,
years before then, he was in and out of trouble. He's probably still using, getting arrested for this and that. But as the last year or so, maybe 2 years or so, 2019 ish, you start seeing DMX again, and he has a dad bod. He has some weight to him. You know what I
hmm,
mean? He's starting to look like his age. He doesn't look so skinny and frail and sick. You know what I mean?
hmm,
He looks healthy. He looks in good spirits. Um, he's doing interviews with and rap outlets, and just having a good time telling his story and getting the flowers that he's deserved, but he's always gotten it. But
right.
now he's getting it as someone that's seemingly overcome his drug addiction and healthier times, and he just in a better headspace. He's put his dark days behind him. You know what I mean? So and then also, the whole versus thing that's going on, right? Where they have the two acts. They just had
Yeah.
Earth, Wind, and Fire and Ron Isley. They
Hmm.
had They had Snoop Dogg and DMX. And at first I was like, I don't think that's the best match. But in a sense, it is because, like I said, DMX basically is the East Coast version of a Snoop. You know what I mean? He's our Snoop
Mhm.
in a sense because they have similarities with the whole dog imagery and stuff in their raps. So
Right.
they had a versus, and it really was just like because versus is like, all right, who has better records, who's the better artist, and when they did it, it wasn't even really about that. It was like, wow, Snoop Dogg, we all love Snoop Dogg, we all love DMX, and they're both still here. Let's
Right.
celebrate their records. You know what I
Right.
mean? Let's celebrate their accomplishments, and that's what it was. And I'm kind of mad I didn't watch it live. I kind of really haven't been into the whole versus thing, but from what I've heard, that was the one that was like, wow, I'm glad that happened. And now even
Okay.
more so
Check.
that he's passed.
Yeah, I have to check that out, and
Yeah.
because I like, I like both of them.
Right. So
Oh yeah.
so yeah, rest in peace to DMX. It's one of it's sad, but like I said, it's one of the things where it's like I'm I'm kind of relieved for him because I know I can only imagine the hardships that came with that drug addiction, and imagine the person that DMX would have been if that hadn't been the case, if he wasn't drug
Oh,
addicted, just a rapper, stayed in that because he was killed when he came out. You know, Pac died in '96, Biggie died in '97, and then boom, DMX came in on the scene in '98, and he just took over
mhm.
the biggest thing out for like 5 years. So
Yeah.
imagine if he wasn't on drugs and he was in that healthy headspace to keep that going, where he would be.
Right.
Yeah,
Definitely. Definitely.
yeah. So rest
Yep.
in peace to DMX.
Yes.
Yeah. I have no way to segue out of DMX, but let's see. Oh, this happened. I didn't even know about this. This was kind of like swept under the rug, but and it says here an ex NFL player, Philip Adams, is accused of killing five before killing himself.
Yeah. Some of those
Mm.
people were his family member. I think Will Smith made a movie.
Yeah,
Um,
go ahead, go
yeah,
ahead.
he made a movie. Or was he did he make it or was he in it? Um,
I'm probably sure he had like some production credit with it, but yes, it was his he
yeah,
starred in it. Yes.
yeah, he of some football of how players get traumatic brain injuries, from all that trauma, of being hit,
Mm,
in the head as often as they are,
right.
just falling to the ground, and your brain is a soft tissue. Not that I'm a doctor, but
Mm,
if it knocks against your brain, it causes scarring and tearing. And I had it explained to me one time that it's like if it hits, and sometimes it'll shift back, but it doesn't shift back into the right position that it's supposed to be in.
mm,
And so, upon impact, it can, you know, the shift, can be slight, or it just causes all kinds of things.
right.
So, yeah, and them being hit over and over and over again, sometimes it's probably not even caught or even reported, how many times or how often they're hit, you know. So they're going to actually do a scan of his brain, and I think what they do, they shave like little pieces or whatever, and they're able to inspect it and see, if whatever this condition is,
Right.
um, was what caused him to go and kill. And it was some family members too.
Yeah, from this art, well, from the thing I got the picture from the Griot, it doesn't really say if they're related to him or not, but maybe it just doesn't say here. Maybe we found
Mhm.
out later on that it is. But
Yeah.
yeah, Robert Leslie, his wife, Robert Leslie's 70, his wife was 69, dead at the scene, and their grandchildren. Uh,
Oh God.
grandchildren, nine, a girl and a boy, from what I understand, if maybe not just two boys, 9-5.
Oh God. Mm,
Yeah. So
that's
another man.
hard.
He said another. Oh, and I remember you saying this too when the whole when the grocery store shooting happened. That some guy just happened to be doing some work there. And you know how that
Mm.
goes. They're not there all the time. They're there for that day to do the job and
Yeah,
leave.
just contracted in to do whatever. Yeah.
And yeah, and leave. And he was killed. And apparently another thing happened like that again. Um, he said another man, James Lewis, who was just doing work at the home, was killed as well.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So and
Mm.
then it said a sixth person was just had serious gunshot wounds.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and did you see the movie, the Will Smith movie about
I,
CTE?
I did. It was a while ago. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
did. I did. I don't remember. I did see it. I did see it.
Yeah, I missed that one.
It,
I
it
missed
was
that one.
interesting.
So yeah, yeah. So obviously you brought up the CTE thing. That's the condition that you were speaking of.
Hmm.
It affects a lot of football players. Probably, while they're while they're actively being a football player, but they don't see the end results of the effects of it until long after. And I think it's very unfortunate because it seems like football players are very that league is very divisive, for lack of a better word. They don't seem to be all on a united front. The players seem to be either with the owner or for themselves. The owners are obviously for themselves, but it doesn't seem like a unified front to like where everyone wants the players to be and to be healthy so that this sport can go on and people can be entertained like you see in basketball. In basketball, it
Mm.
seems like everyone's generally concerned for each other. The owners are less. They don't. It's more of a collaborative family team. Like it seems more of a family
Hmm.
on basketball than it does in football. Football is, it seems like dog eat dog on the field and off the field.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So who makes more money? Do football players make more money or basketball players?
I
Or do you know?
don't know. I think I would think football players, but I think that it doesn't seem that way by how they act. There's a I will man, now I wish I would have watched it. There's a podcast with football players. Chad Ochocinco is probably the most famous one that you would know well, I'm a casual football fan. I know you're a Cowboys fan, but they
Mhm.
have a podcast and there's a bunch of ex-football players. And this one guy that's on the show, he's yelling and screaming because he's saying, "Oh no, the NBA, they don't have guaranteed contracts," which he's absolutely wrong about. But they're going off. And I don't know what sparked that. And in my mind, I feel like there's a narrative that football players aren't being paid as much as they should. I
Hmm.
feel like there's something like that in the air when it comes to football. I don't really know because I'm not a fan of football, but to answer your question, I'm not too sure. I had to look into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're kind of all overpaid. I think yeah, I'll just keep that
Mhm.
to myself.
Right. Yeah. That's fine. I see
I
where you're
think I
coming
think
from.
I think I think teachers should make a little bit more money, than they
Mhm.
do.
Yeah.
Just it's just a lot of other professions that could, and I'm not trying to down, football players or whatever. But, some of their behavior gets to be, it just takes away from what's supposed to be a family oriented, sports and entertainment. That's what I don't like about it.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
that they have to be role models. You people are responsible for,
Mhm.
raising their children and and doing whatever. But
Yeah.
there's some accountability or some code of ethics that should be
Should be
followed.
followed and in place, and it doesn't seem like it is.
Right.
Football in itself is a very barbaric sport. It's a alpha male, or I'm big, or I'm a knock. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
it's so funny because y'all, you probably don't remember this, or you're probably gonna say you don't remember this, but do you remember y'all tried to make me do football?
No, I don't think I ever really wanted you to do football.
Do you know? All right. Do you
I don't
know?
think I ever. I do know that we wanted you guys to play, but I didn't think you were. You were such a skinny little kid.
Yes. Right. I it makes sense. I, of course, you
Because
probably
if I
didn't
had
want me.
wanted you,
You
if
probably
I
didn't.
wanted you to play, you would have played.
If you wanted me to play, you would have played.
Yes, you would have played.
I can probably agree with that. There's someone that wanted me to play. We know who, and obviously I didn't. I was not going for it, but for good reason. I was a skin. I'm not gonna put on some weight now, but I'm still generally skinny. You know what I mean? And I was a
Hmm.
skinny kid. Like
Yeah.
everyone weighed 40 more pounds than me. You know what I mean? By a minimum. So it's like, yeah, let's. Oh, you want to play a sport where all these heavy. Oh, I was about to curse. All these heavy kids is going to attack you to the ground over and over. You want to play that sport? Nah, no. I actually don't want to do that. I think I'm good. You know, so yeah,
But you guys used to play football out in front of the house, and you were,
but I was forced to, not forced, but like I was coerced
to,
to.
you was forced to play football out in front of the house.
It was never like my idea to to uh to play football. I remember like you Michael, Eddie and them's older.
Mhm,
This is neighborhood kids, guys, that we grew up with. They just needed one more person, and he begged me to play because I was the
mhm,
only person that was available. He begged me to play.
mhm.
That's the only way I would play. If on my
Right.
own accord, I would not play. I remember this one time, it was all the neighborhood kids would play football except me, literally just me. I would just be the little the baseball field.
Yeah.
No one really played baseball. We were either playing basketball or football. Most of the kids wanted to play football. So literally there
Right.
was a whole football field that people were playing on. And on the other side was me shooting the basketball just by myself. And one time they were playing football with this huge kid. I don't know if you remember. This kid is gigantic.
Was he from the neighborhood or was he from Brandywood?
Now he was from the neighborhood,
Hmm.
gigantic, like Andre the Giant size, and this dude was like 13. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Huge. And I guess he hit somebody, like, tackled somebody. Imagine me playing football with someone like that. But anyway, he tackled another big, Joey?
Yes.
Joey in
Joey was a
himself,
big kid.
Joey in himself is a big kid, but this kid make him look like me compared to, you know what I mean? That's how big that dude was. So he hit him or something. I wasn't playing on the field, but an argument ensued, and that big, huge kid punched Joey and knocked him out and
Oh
walked.
wow.
And then the whole neighbor, like literally the whole neighborhood kids, we marched to the kid's house because that kid, he lived all the way down at the end of the neighborhood. We all walked to his house, knocked on his door. His dad came, which is weird because his dad's like a normal sized dude. And like kind of like we just confronted him about it because everyone loved Joey. And I think Joey in himself had a heart condition.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So yeah,
Oh
little
wow.
tangent there, but that's all to say that I have no business playing football at all, even now, but especially back then. So I'm glad I didn't play football. I'm glad the person that wanted me to play football was unsuccessful in their attempt.
Well, but
Good
we're gonna
job.
talk about
Good try.
so yeah, but are we gonna talk about you playing basketball and what I wanted for you and you just refused to do it?
Yes. To be fair, yes. Go ahead.
So I wanted you to play for the township
Hmm.
and you refused. Oh, I don't want to play for the township. I want to play, for was it middle school?
It was Pal.
For what wasn't?
It was no, it was Pal. We played we
Was
played we played for Pal.
but
So
it was for Maysland Township though, right?
yes, you wanted me to play for the school.
No.
No, mom, I'm telling you, you wanted me to play for the school. I tried out for the PAL for the police academy thing for the township. 2 years, didn't make it, and made it my last year. I never tried out for the school. That's what you wanted
Well,
me to
see,
do.
I don't remember it. I don't remember it being that way.
No, it was
I remember wanting you to play for PAL to get you ready for the school because I knew kids were already playing since they were, in elementary.
yeah, and I did. Mom, I'm telling you, I tried out 6 years old, got cut, cried my eyes out. What is I got a gift from Zoom? What are you talking about? Shout out to Zoom. Anyway, 6th grade, didn't make it, cried my eyes out. 7th grade, didn't make it again, whatever. 8th grade, finally made it. So I tried out for PAL and played for PAL in my 8th grade year. I never
I
tried out
just
for the school.
I just remember you. I remember wanting you to play for PAL, and you said, "Nope, I want to play for middle school."
No,
And I
mom.
said, "But this is where everybody starts. Everybody starts here."
Mom,
And then, because that was during the time when we wanted you to, when we wanted, when you said football, I said, well, no. So what do you want to do? I want to play basketball. Okay, well then let's do the PAL basketball. Well, no, I want
yes.
to play for school. That's
Wow.
what I remember. And
Wow.
then I remember sending you to the camp. I remember you going to the camp.
The camp I loved. The
Like
camp
it
was
was
when I
like a
played my
week.
best. That I
Yeah.
literally won. The problem with
Oh,
me was
you want
that
to?
I won the award for the best player.
Yeah.
But the difference with camp is that it's basically like street ball. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's refs, but it's the coaches, it's like people volunteering. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Still basically like street ball. Was good at like pick up basketball, go outside. In a unified game where there's literally a crowd and there's rules and regulations, you're actually shooting free throws, there's actually coaches, you actually can't track, you know what I mean? Like the actual rule
Mhm,
of a game of basketball, I
mhm,
was not good at. I was timid. I was shy about it. But if you put me out on just a regular outside basketball court, I was good. So that was my
mhm.
problem. But I promise you, mom, you have it twisted. You're right. I I refused, but I didn't refuse to play PAL. I played PAL. I never tried out for the basketball team at school. So
Okay.
that's the thing. So you're so
Okay.
you're we're both right.
Okay. Well,
So yeah, that's um that's the story of James in sports. One of my biggest regrets is that I stopped playing. I should have kept playing. It's one of my biggest regrets. So
yeah. Because I thought you were pretty good.
yeah, I always tell people I was a great shooter.
Yeah.
I was a great shooter. So that could have developed into just being a great player overall because shooting is the sport now. But anyway, yes, we were talking. I don't even know how to segue into this. All of our topics are kind of like all over the place, but I want you to tell me what you have to tell me about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Because
Oh,
we talk about shows that we both like, but I want to talk about a show that you like.
the Real Housewives of Atlanta is
Uh,
just pure entertainment for
Pure
me.
entertainment.
Pure entertainment. They are, just a group of women out of Atlanta, um, who are, boss. They're
Mhm.
boss bitches, boss bees,
Yes.
however you want to call it.
Hmm.
um in within their own rights. Not all of them make a ton of money, but they have that mentality, um that can be both good and bad.
Yes.
um yeah, I don't necessarily approve of a lot of the things that they do and say, but it's just kind of like just looking out your window into somebody else's window. And but unfortunately some people think that that is the way of life, and they actually subscribe to and do and behave like some of them do. I think my favorite one I want to say is Candy Burris. Now she
Yes.
is a boss. She is a boss bitch.
Hmm.
She I think she's worth like $40 million or something. She's worth more than all of them.
Mm.
This is like pocket change to her.
Right. Right.
She's been casting and getting roles in a lot of different movies and shows. She's done a couple of things on Lifetime,
Mhm.
things like that.
Yeah, I'm glad.
So I do like watching it.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that too because that's probably the only person I know of. Like, I actually know who she is, and maybe just Portia. Um, but it's funny you said that because Katie Burris, she was also cast in The Shy,
Hmm.
and The
Yeah,
Shy
one of
just
my.
The Shy just that's one of the shows we like as well. We'll definitely be talking about it because The Shy season 4 is coming on next month, the 23rd.
Oh wow, that's soon.
Yeah, yeah, that's the trailer's out and everything. I probably should have
Oh,
sent it to you so we could talk about it, but I felt like it was too much topics. You know what I mean? But
mm-hmm.
it's on, so we're I'm excited. I love that show. I
Yeah.
love that show. Yep. So yeah, but what's going on with the show? I kind of like wanted to like watch it along with you to like just see what's going on, but
I don't think you'll really, find it all that intriguing.
I mean, I'm
Right.
sure I won't.
Yeah, it's really just kind of trashy right now.
Mhm.
Cynthia Bailey, she just remarried, and she's married to this guy. His name is Michael Hill or Mike Hill,
Uh-huh.
and he seems to be a good match for her. But Candy had given her a bachelorette party, and it's alleged that Portia, um, and one of the other people, can't call them characters because this is like a
Right. It's real life people.
reality, yeah,
Mhm.
reality. So this other lady, Tanya, allegedly somebody slept with the stripper that they had. Stripper name was Bolo.
Mm. Someone
So
someone
you
that
know
someone would sleep with at the stripper party. Sounds like that guy Bolo. Yeah, okay. It sounds like someone that would sleep with someone's wife at the stripper party.
yeah. So and Kenya Kenya Moore, she won't let it go because she said she heard it and she know who it was, and they're just going back and forth about something that um
So
should
messy.
have been a girl's, you breaking the girl code, so to speak. Um,
Yeah.
so that's what's going on there. It'll be interesting to, it'll just be interesting to see how that's going to die. I'm not really interested to see if it was true or not. Portia's grown.
It
Portia's
was.
got a, well, whether or not she did or not. Those are her things that she has to answer for, and it's really none of Kenya's business.
It
But
was.
it's a public TV show, and you put yourself out there, and
Yeah.
you know.
I would- you know, I probably would be like, I don't know if it's true or not. But then when you said the dude's name was Bolo, I was like, all right. Nah, they did it.
Well, that's his stripper name, I
that,
guess. I don't know what his
that
real name.
sounds it sounds like you really gotta take into account people's names. Like when you hear people's names like Seamus, if you ever meet someone named Seamus, don't trust them. Why would you? Well, I don't care what if they seem like the nicest dude or the planet. Like, don't trust no one named Seamus.
Seamus.
It
Yeah.
the name
Mm,
shame is in their name. You know what I mean? You
yeah.
got you got to really pay attention to what you name your kids and the people that are around you and what their names are, because their names will tell you the type of people they are.
You think so?
Oh yeah, for sure,
I
for
don't, I
sure,
don't know.
for
Mm-mm.
sure.
I'm not going to agree with that.
Do you
That's
know?
see, that's why sometimes black people don't get jobs because of their names. They could be the most qualified person, to get it to have this job or get this job, but because their name, has a blackness, to it,
Mhm.
they will often be, passed by, Keisha. They'll, pick a
Ah,
Holly or a, Stephanie. Well, Stephanie could be either or, so that's a good name. But Becky over, Keisha or Tasha or,
hmm.
you know,
Okay,
yeah.
I
So
guess that's
I took great thought when I named, my children.
yeah.
So Yeah.
As you should. I guess that was a good example to like kind of dispute what I was saying, but I my thing wasn't necessarily more
Yeah, you on the
about
funny end
race.
of it.
I'm more of the like the sounding of the name, like Bolo.
Well, that's his stripper name, you know.
Yes, but oh, some guy slept with someone's life. What's his name? Bolo. Okay, it's like Debo. The name Debo sounds like someone that will beat you up. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
yeah, but that's just me being silly. Anyway, basketball wise,
Basketball wife. So you was talking about Chaz Ochocinco.
yes,
So he was married to Evelyn La, La, Evelyn the Laurence La,
Gonzalez. I
Evelyn
don't know something. Lorenzo, one of them. Lazada,
Lazada. Yeah.
Lazada. I don't
And
know why I
so
know
they're on, talking about colorism with
that.
this one of the people on there. Her name is OG. I don't know what OG's last name or what OG stand for, but she's a Nigerian. And last season, during their reunion, she really um, came across as being like a bully, being very aggressive, toward the other women. And she's a dark skinned um, young lady. She has features that are, more African you know, um, than some. She's dark skinned. She has, fuller lips. She has, you know, just her frame and everything is, just speaks, to Black African American.
Features, yeah.
So but she's in my opinion, she's not um as she's not stunning. She's not like this stunning girl where you would take a double take. And
Mhm.
in my opinion, none of them are that way,
Oh yeah, no, no, it's a
either,
gray.
because they all wear a lot of either way it goes, they all wear a lot of makeup. They
Mhm.
all have, fake hair. And then it comes down, and sometimes it gets right silly because you're talking about her. That's not even your hair, that's not even your eyelashes or your eyebrows or whatever.
Your
You know,
body.
it, everybody is made up,
Mhm.
and you don't look the way that your natural, features, are.
Right.
But anyway, so they're having this real issue about, dark skin, light skin, women. And it's truly a shame because that does exist, you know. And OG was very sensitive to it because of her growing up, how it affected her. And she had a teacher to tell her that she would never be nothing because of the color of her skin. So that kind of pierced her soul, and made her really self-conscious about her appearance. And so when she felt that they were um not necessarily attacking her, but making fun or making light of it, you know she reacts, or she reacted in such a way that was came off as aggressive
Mm.
to the other ladies. And I do think that, some of them, could have slightly,
Instigated it or brought it on
uh,
themselves.
I think they were poking at her. They were, I don't think that they were necessarily the nicest, just that mean girl
Yeah, that
spirit.
cliquish bad
Yeah,
B energy.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's not a good look.
Mm.
So, basketball wise. So like I said, I watch them for pure entertainment.
Yeah.
And but sometimes it gets a little it hits home, and there are issues that need to be addressed, with adult women, as to us being able to embrace each other and love each other, um really be able to celebrate our differences. I mean, we're tall, we're short, we're we're thick, we're thin, you know, we have long hair, we have short hair, we have kinky hair, we have straight hair. You know, it's just such a diverse of a diversity of women and who we are as Black women, women of color,
Mhm.
you know, that just should be celebrated and not targeted or you know, made to be felt belittled,
Yeah.
you
I
know.
think going back to what you were saying, like, you watch these shows for the pure enjoyment of it, but there's people that watch this, and I'm pretty sure all these women have social media and things like that. And if they have something going on in their personal lives, they're gonna go on live and talk to the fans about it. It becomes this whole big show and thing. But
Hmm.
people really, it's kind of crazy to me, but people really like use their lives as like a blueprint to like how they should be. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
They feel as though if a man ain't making $100,000 a year, that they're no good. You
Right.
or he can't buy you this expensive purse, then he's a bum.
Well, but they're not even a lot of them aren't even you know, I don't think you should um expect or want, you know, someone to purchase you nothing that you can't purchase for yourself.
Right, but that's not
Um
the
yeah, that's not
thinking
yeah, that's
of
not the thinking.
of a good amount of my generation, but definitely this next generation coming up behind us. Oh man, getting surgery is like a goal.
Your soul and your inner self and who you are just as a person that gets all, you know, misconstrued.
Mhm.
You know, keeping up an image or whatever, you know, you're presenting them with your not your real self, but your, you know, your representative of who you know, want to be.
Right.
Um, but not, you know, well, who are you? You
Hmm.
know, you I guess it gets to the point where you don't even know who you are,
Yeah.
you know, without somebody telling you or without you seeing it on TV. Or, you know, it goes too far where, you know, we've come a long way from watching television and not being able to see people who look like us,
Hmm.
you know, to see somebody with, you know, with hair like mine, you know, without it being manipulated and straightened or, you know, a slick back or slick down or whatever, you know, that becomes important to, you know, just your everyday little girl who's looking at TV because you're forming images, you know, before those children. That's why parents have to parent their children. You know,
Hmm.
mothers have to parent their little girls, men have to parent their little boys. And you know, that's point blank. That's just what it is. That's what we're getting away from, and we need to get back to,
Yeah.
and not let TV raise our children.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
true. Definitely well said. Yeah, so with that being said, that's all I got on the docket, as they say.
Hmm.
um I think one thing I wanted to point out is I think we may have our first fan.
Oh,
Maybe. Maybe our first true fan. So I look at the numbers and the little statistics to see who's watching or where they're from. Um there's people in Newark, New Jersey, and we're not from North New Jersey, but I'm sure it's probably someone we might know.
okay.
And there's people that are watching in Compton, and I'm sure I probably know them as well. But there's someone that's watching in Oregon. I want to know
Or
who that person is. I want to know who that person is because they might be our first fan. But then also, um, we have a someone that commented on one of our YouTube videos, and her
okay.
name is Kimberly K. Parker. I'm gonna shout out Kimberly K. Parker. She said, for our trailer, it's like awesome, and then for our first episode, she said, "Thank you for sharing," and I replied, we appreciate the comment, showing your support.
Yes, we do.
Welcome to the family. Here officially on live if you're listening still. I want to confirm who our first fan is because you know um, we're just getting started. There's a difference between just getting started. Oh no no no! I was thinking about this earlier. Okay, we're just starting, right?
Yes,
That's what we're doing. But then when you hear people that are saying, "Oh, we're just getting started," that's a difference. And the
you're
difference
right.
is that When someone says, "Oh, we're just getting started," that means they have a bunch of things in the work in the pipeline that's going to come out. You know what I mean? Like, I guess for example, and to point out about black women being represented on television, Issa Rae. Issa Rae just recently signed a deal with Warner Brothers, which is basically HBO, for however a big amount of money.
Mhm.
I can imagine that just didn't come out of nowhere. Like she didn't just get lucky when Insecure and it popped off. This was all planned out. She
Right.
had a plan to get Insecure um on a network. It pops off, and now it's like, okay, now that this I'm proven, I'm here, I'm established. We got all this coming too. We're just
Yeah, Issa
started.
Rae is just getting
We're
started.
just getting started. So now
Yeah.
that we're just starting off,
Right.
I want to get to that point to where we're just getting started. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I'm
Ooh.
excited to get to that point. Knew that was going to happen. We're probably going to keep. We're probably going to keep that in there to prove to people that we are just starting off.
We're just getting started.
We are just started off. Yeah. So yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely want to like I said, shout out to Kimberly K. Parker. If you're that person from Oregon, comment again, confirm who you are. Um, I don't know, email us, get go to our website, our Instagram or our Facebook, and I want to really confirm who our first fan is because I'm gonna say it right now. Along the lines of down the line, we're gonna have merch. We're gonna have um, things for our fans if they want to purchase.
Mhm.
Our first fan is gonna get it all for free. So
Okay.
put a stamp
Nice.
on it, put it out there. So whoever you
Yeah.
are, if it's Kimberly K. Parker, if it's someone else, I want someone to confirm that they're our first fan and they will get free whatever from us for life.
Awesome.
First fan. So yes, I was because the thing about Kimberly K. Parker who commented, she commented like a week ago, but I didn't see
Mhm.
it because all my YouTube stuff for our channel is on
Mhm.
my laptop. I didn't have it on my phone just yet.
Okay.
So I was looking on my laptop and I was like, oh, someone commented. But it was like a week ago. Because if it was on my phone, I would have known immediately. So I was a little late to getting to her. But yes, I did see your comment. And I do hope that you're our first fan. So I just wanted to say that.
Awesome. We do not take that for granted. Thank you
Mhm.
so much for viewing us and commenting. So we do appreciate you. And we just look forward to hearing from you again
Yes.
so that you can definitely collect your goodies from us
Yeah, yeah.
because we are just getting started.
Yes, we are just started. It sounds like the same thing, but you know what we mean. We're literally just starting.
Yeah.
We're literally just starting. So yes, yes.
That. Mhm.
Yeah, all the goodies will come down the line. Down the line, we want to grow our audience first, and get our feet wet and really figure out what we're doing here. But we're happy to do it. I'm happy to talk to my mother and do this show. Each and every Sunday. So if you're tuning in, um, follow us on Instagram at Mater Xater. If you're watching, all of that will be in the at the end slide, a little end outro. You can find us on Facebook at Bonding with Mater and Sater. Like we post all our episodes there. We have an Instagram as well, like I said. You can listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and yeah, we'll be here every Sunday, every Sunday. So I'm I'm excited.
Awesome.
I'm excited. So yeah, we'll leave it at that, guys. Until next Sunday. Toodles.
Bye.
Bye bye. I love you.
I love you too. I'll talk to you later, son.
All right.
Bye.